Good morning, everybody. Let's take a look at Chapter 12, Lesson 8, Area. Before we do that, just a quick note, it is important to look ahead into third grade. So when we're looking at halves, thirds, and fourths, we haven't learned how to write in fractions yet. So please use the vocabulary so the students become familiar with those terms when helping them with their math work. But anyways, let's move on to Chapter 12, Lesson 8, Area. All right, so we're going to draw a square. You're going to draw a square too. Oh. So I want you to draw me a square. Doesn't have to be perfect. And I want you to break that or partition, separate that into fourths. And then I want you to draw a second square and partition that one into fourths a different way. So go ahead and do that. I want to separate this one, or partition, split into fourths equally this way. And then this one, I think I will split this way. Not exactly perfect, that's fine, but as you can see, I have two different ways that I partitioned or split into 4 equal parts for both squares. So there's similar answers. All right, I want you to think about how you would partition a square into 2 equal parts and how you could partition a circle into 3 equal parts. Go ahead, pause the video and talk that over. So you can do it different ways. So I will show you 2 equal parts. I can separate it this way, horizontally, or I could have split it, vertically. I could have done it horizontally. Now for the circle, I need to start in the middle and partition it in 2/3 this way. All right, how would you partition a rectangle into 4 equal groups and a rectangle into 3 equal groups? So a couple different ways. 4 equal parts. Do it that way. 3 equal parts. I'm going to go ahead and do it this way, easy way. Yes, you can have something different than what I have. Test practice. Rob divided a granola bar in 2/3. How many equal shares does he have? Think about a granola bar and what shape those are. Yep, 3 equal parts. So if I were to draw a granola bar real quick, and I need to divide it into thirds, so I'm going to get 3 equal parts to split. All right, so now I'm looking at how do I partition rectangles into equal size squares. So if I were to draw a rectangle, here's some knocking behind me. I have a couple birds that want to try and come in my family room window, so I apologize. So here's my rectangle. Now from here, I would need to make my rectangle into equally sized squares. So that's going to take some time. Again, might not be perfect, but I'm using a mouse, doing my best. One more. Pretty close. So there I partitioned it. I had to split it long ways into thirds or horizontally. And then vertically, I had to split it in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just split it into 6. So that's how I could partition my rectangle into equal size squares. Now, this is going to lead us into finding the area. So here, I have rectangles shown to model what represents different gardens. Squares of the same size are drawn in the rectangles. So I color the garden that has 9 squares. Now I want to circle the garden as 15 squares, underline the garden that has 12 squares, draw an X on the garden that has 8 squares. So let's go ahead and start with the first part of that, shade, which means color. Color the one that has 9 squares. So 2, 4, 6, 8. I can't do nothing. Skip count by threes. 3, 6, 9. Oh, perfect. There's 9. So just color. Whoop. Good enough. All right, so that part's done because we know we always underline what we're going to do. So now I'm going to circle the part that's 15 squares. So we know this had 8, 15. So 1, 2, 3. So I got to count by threes. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Oh, perfect. I'm done. Then underline the garden that has 12 squares. Well, we have 8, so let's check. Count by twos. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Perfect. Underline. Done. So then it says draw an X on the garden that has 8 squares. So better check again. 2, 4, 6, 8. Perfect. Draw an X. Let's check our work. Fantastic. All right, so go back one. So here, I'm looking at the area. I need to know in this square, how many squares can I fit inside of it? Equal squares. So I have 9 squares. Over here, this rectangle, how many equal squares can I fit inside of it? 8. So Marcelo plants, sorry, I had a text. Marcella plants rows of 6 tomato plants in her garden. She planted 18 tomato plants in all. How many tomato plants are in each column? So she has, ooh, these are going to be huge. She's going to have, 6 tomato plants in a row. So that means she's going to have 6 of these in a row. 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, I know it's not perfect. So then, how many columns would we have to make 18 in all? So if here's 6, let's do another row. I'm gonna use a different color to show. Again, I'll move them when I get them up there, make them a little bit nicer. All right, so here I have a second row. Do I have 18 yet? Well, if I can count by 6s or be able to multiply 6 times 2 or 12, or I can even count by 2s, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So we don't have enough. Let's add another row. Oops, I don't yell. Trying to show difference here. Pick colors out, stand out. Okay, so here, it's not gonna let me go any lower. Do my best. So now I have 1, 2, 3. So I have 6, 12, 12 plus 6, 6. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So then it wants to know how many tomato plants are in each column. Now remember, a column goes up and down. So how many are in the column? Well, the answer is 3. There was 3 in each because you have 6 in a row and you have 3 in a column. So then I can count either by 6s, I can count by 1s, I can skip count by 3s to get 18. If you listen carefully, my dog was snoring. So I'm not going to worry about the math in my world because you will need individual cubes, so we're not going to do that. So there's only going to be 2 worksheets today. So guided practices, rectangles can be partitioned into equal size squares. You can count the squares to describe its size. So in this purple rectangle, there's 8 equal squares. So that means I have an area of 8, okay? I have 2 in a column and 4 in a row. So my multipliers, my students that can multiply, that'd be 2 times 4, which is 8. So then over here, in the red rectangle, I have 3, and I have 4. So I can do 3 times 4, or I can skip count by 3s, or I can skip count by 4s. Any of those ways will tell us how many squares we have. So today on Seesaw, you are only going to have 2 worksheets because, again, you don't have these in front of you and you don't have the little blocks at home. So we're not going to, lesson 7. Give me a second here. All right, so you won't have to worry about this page. This one will be pretty easy. Find the area. Again, multipliers, you can do it. We can skip count and count each one individually. Also, I'm not going to give you this part of the independent practice because you don't have colored tiles and you don't have paper at home. So I will give you the brain builders, which you might have to draw on a separate piece of paper. And I will give you the My Homework in the next couple of days. Real quick, something I do want to announce, it will be on Dojo, is I will be at the school next week, but that's not for you to worry about. What is important is May 12th. May 12th, there will be 2 times posted for when you can come with your students to collect their things and also bring back materials. I spoke with Miss Brooks and Mr. Eklund, and we have agreed on the packets that were sent home at the beginning of this do not need to be returned. We need the school-owned library book, the Magic Treehouse book. That is the only thing that I would like back for you to drop off on the 12th. I will post the time slots on Class Dojo. Thank you for coming by, and hopefully we can continue to do a good job on our math lessons. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.